I may have officially gone crazy, but I was going through some assets to make a video the other day, and I noticed something. Something that, if I'm right, could give us some more major insight as to what's currently going on in the FNAF story. But if I'm right is a major question. But it does have to do with Princess Quest. Slices, put on your aprons and let's bake ourselves a theory. So what is Princess Quest? Princess Quest 1, or at least at the time Princess Quest, first appeared in the Help Wanted mobile port. It was an unlockable secret within the prize counter. But beating it didn't change much about the game. It was just kind of there and we had to figure out what it could have meant. But that was Help Wanted. Security Breach is really where Princess Quest takes center stage, because Princess Quest 1, 2, and 3 are hidden throughout the Pizzaplex. Princess Quest 1 you simply have to find, but to play Princess Quest 2, you need to have beaten the first one. And beating both Princess Quest 1 and 2 and finding the location of 3 throughout a playthrough unlocks the ability to go back at the end of the game and confront Vanny, beating Princess Quest 3 and freeing Vanessa from Vanny's influence. The games themselves are fairly straightforward. In the first one, we're playing as a princess with a lantern, and we're simply avoiding monsters, lighting our way, and eventually being cornered by this weird purple rabbit glitchy mess. In the second game, we're given a sword and able to somewhat fight back, but when we get to the end, there's this glitchy door. Instead of ending the game in the bed, you can enter that door, and you're put into a FNAF 1 styled security office. Then within Princess Quest 3, we continue from where we left off, going through a Help Wanted 1 styled lobby, and facing off in the Fall Fest maze with Grim Foxy and all to get the Vanny mask, and doing these weird treadmill puzzles around Chica to get the Glitch Trap plushie. Once we get both, it gives us a key to get to the Help Wanted style locked door, opening it, hearing Glitch Trap scream, and that's when Vanessa is freed from Vanny. There's also a fourth Princess Quest in Help Wanted 2. This one is a lot more confusing, and it seems to be a creation directly by Vanny or Glitch Trap. It's hard to tell. So for now, we'll leave that aside. But why do I bring up Princess Quest at all? Not very long ago, I spoke about the connections between Fiona, or at least F10 and 4, and Princess Quest, and how I think M1 is modifying Princess Quest to help assist taking down Glitch Trap. After all, in Help Wanted 2, Mystic Hippo is the one who points us in the direction of Princess Quest 4, Mystic Hippo being a character that was originally created for Murray's Costume Manor, and if it was a character created by MCM, it was likely designed by Fiona. Because in Princess Quest 3, we were walking through what we at the time believed was a recreation of the Help Wanted 1 lobby, and while that may or may not be true, both that area and this Princess Quest 3 area are directly pulled from the prototype pizzeria underneath Murray's Costume Manor, which is very interesting when you think about where we spawn in Princess Quest 3, the security office, which in that prototype pizzeria is exactly where the F10 and 4 machine is located. Not to mention the two animatronics we encounter in this area are the two characters that were designed by Fiona Murray specifically. We have Foxy, which technically we don't know 100% for sure if Fiona designed him, but we know she designed Roxy and that Foxy is a part of that puppet show and she made puppets, so it's incredibly likely. And Chica, a character that we have direct confirmation was visually designed by Fiona, at least the design for the suit. Obviously, Chica's party world seems to have existed before they contacted MCM, but Fiona was involved in the design of the new version of Chica that moved forward. So, okay, if I've said all of this before, why am I bringing it up again? Why does Fiona being connected to Princess Quest matter today? What is this weird out there connection that I keep bringing up about the princess? Well, it's not about the princess. It's about Chica. Party Chica, the one from Chica's Party World. See this original design here? The way the head is tall but rounded at the top and flared out at the bottom with little frills, and the way that the top has a protrusion with 3 points, and the way that she's fully yellow. One other character shares all of these traits. I promise this is going somewhere. Look, if it was just this visual connection, I wouldn't bring it up, but I believe this connection is a purposeful thread of a much larger tapestry. Because I admit, this is one of the most, "that's nice grandpa, let's go to bed," theories I've ever created. But consider the connections here. We have direct messages saying that Fiona Murray is literally the person who designed this Chica. Chica's Party World commissioned Murray's Costume Manor to make a suit for their main mascot, and it's commented on that they wish the suit looked a little bit more like the original design, but judging from the blueprints we have and the art alongside it, this is pretty similar. But even if you don't want to use the suit, this art, which is inspired by the same design, shows the same thing. Long head, rounded top, flared bottom, 3-point crown. So, How interesting that the princess within Princess Quest shares many similar design features to a character that was directly created by Fiona Murray. I see two possibilities for what this could be telling us. Either in her life, Fiona Murray designed the Princess Quest game, which I don't think is very likely looking at the timeline. Arcade cabinets did exist in the 70s, and while they were more primitive, technology being realistic was never really an issue with Five Nights at Freddy's. I mean, the sister location bunker was created sometime in the 80s, and that's tech we don't have today. But this would have been under the Murray's Costume Man or banner, and as far as we're aware, MCM never built arcade cabinets, so Fiona Murray wouldn't have done that. The other possibility is that this character was created by F10N4, the M1 version of Fiona, the thing that in some ways still seems to be an active player in this story. So if F10N4 created the princess herself of Princess Quest, who's to say that this isn't a game being modified by Fiona, but rather this entire game is created by F10N4. Princess Quest 3 literally shows us spawning where the F10N4 machine is located, and then we literally go through the room that was built originally to house the new animatronics that Fiona was designing. And in that area, we face off not only against Chica, the one character that is directly confirmed to be created by Fiona Murray, but we're going to the Fall Fest inspired area, facing off against another likely Fiona creation that's on fire. You know, how Fiona died at a fire in Fall Fest. Princess Quest 3 is literally 100% about Fiona Murray. What if Princess Quest and all of its iterations are full creations by F10N4? This game didn't exist before Fiona was trying to take down Glitchtrap. In the FNAF interview with Steel Wool, J-Top pointed out that the dialogue being so choppy in Princess Quest is purposeful. The reason he gives is it's a reference to those older, janky arcade translations, like the classic X-Men Welcome to Die. But with all of this information in tow, that might not be the only reason anymore. If F10N4 created the entirety of Princess Quest from scratch, well, it didn't create it from scratch, did it? After all, F10N4 is M1, or rather the first successful iteration of a mimic program. A mimic program who's only able to observe things it sees, mash them together, and output something. It cannot create something new. So in creating Princess Quest, every weird reference we're seeing is literally F10N4 pulling on what it knows to create something new. We see the exact same thing in Help Wanted with Glitchtrap when it makes the pizza party level, which is just a mishmash of everything else we've seen in the game thus far. And the dialogue of the old man follows with this as well. It's so choppy because it's not new dialogue. M1 is not sitting here writing things out. It's taking dialogue that it knows and things it can copy and mashing it together to make some sort of logical sentence. All of this including the princess, which is why even though this looks like a new character, a lot of its design has been directly ripped from something that Fiona had already made. Okay, so like level with me. Am I crazy? Have I lost it? Because again, like I looked at this and this at the same time and my first thought was, oh God. But I understand, you know, it could just be a coincidence. Unfortunately, Scott does do coincidences quite often, but I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Have I officially lost it? You be the judge. In the meantime, if you'd rather see me talk about some actual hard evidence that we've recently received, last week I covered Ticket to Fun, the activity collection toy thing that was released for Five Nights at Freddy's that surprisingly had two pretty big lore drops in it. You can find that right here. If you want your fan art featured on the channel, make sure to share with hashtag ToastArt. A huge thank you to the best channel members, the Dough Risers, and until next time, as always, stay toasty, slices.